Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English with Friends. I'm Emily, and I am sitting here with my very good friend Alex.
Hi, Emily. Hi, everyone. I am so happy to be here today. Today's topic is very close to my heart.
Me too, Alex. Today, we are talking about making friends through English.
You know, many people learn English for work or for exams, but the most beautiful part of English is that it lets you meet people from every country on Earth.
Exactly. It's not just about the words in a book, it's about the people you meet at a party, in a hostel, or even in an online game. Today, we will teach you how to start a conversation, what questions to ask, and how to keep a friendship growing.
Before we start our long chat, please remember to follow our show.
Yes, and if you are listening on a platform that allows reviews, please give us 5 stars. It helps other English learners find us. Okay, let's get into it. Alex, let's be honest. Walking up to a stranger and speaking English is terrifying.
Oh, it's the scariest thing. My hands sweat just thinking about it. But Emily, what is the easiest way to start?
The secret is small talk. These are simple, safe topics. We usually start with the environment.
Like the weather?
Yes, it sounds boring, but it works. Or if you are at a cafe, you can ask, "Is this seat taken?" Or "What are you drinking? It looks good."
Oh, I like that. It's natural. Let's practice a friendship starter. Listeners, listen to how simple this is. Hi, are you enjoying the music? Hello, is this your first time at this meetup? Wow, it's a very crowded room today, isn't it?
Exactly. You don't need to talk about philosophy, you just need to open the door.
Okay, so I said hello. The other person said hello back. Now what? Now I'm stuck.
This is where many learners stop. The key is the follow-up question. If they say, "I'm from Spain," don't just say, "Oh, okay."
Right, that kills the conversation. Instead, you should ask something about Spain.
Yes, ask, "Oh, where in Spain? I've always wanted to visit Madrid." Or, "What is the best food to try there?"
That is a great tip. People love talking about themselves. If you ask questions, you don't have to speak as much. You can just listen.
Let's look at some phrases that help build a bridge between two people. Me too. Use this when you have something in common. That's interesting. Tell me more. This shows you are listening. What do you do for fun? This is better than what is your hobby?
I love me too. It's the fastest way to make a friend. I love spicy food. Me too. I'm a bit nervous speaking English. Me too. Boom, you are now friends.
I want to tell you about a student named Lee. Lee moved to Canada. He was very lonely because his English was very basic.
That sounds very hard.
It was. One day, he went to a local park and saw a group of people playing soccer. He stood there for a long time. Finally, he walked up and said, "Can I play? I'm not good, but I like soccer."
And?
They said, "Of course." For the next hour, they didn't speak much. They just played. But after the game, they all went for water. One guy asked Lee where he was from. Because they had just shared an activity, Lee felt relaxed. He used his simple English to talk about soccer stars. Now, that group is his best group of friends.
That is beautiful. The lesson here is find a shared activity. Join a cooking class, a running club, or a book group. It's easier to talk when your hands or feet are busy.
In summary, start with small talk, use follow-up questions, and try to share an activity. In the next part, we will talk about how to be vulnerable and invite people to do things. Don't go away. Welcome back. We are still here talking about the magic of making friends. Alex, we talked about small talk, but what happens when you don't understand what your new friend just said?
Oh, this happens to me all the time. Even now, you're talking, laughing, and suddenly your friend uses a slang word or an idiom and you just freeze.
The blank face. We all know it. Listeners, here's a secret. Don't pretend you understand.
That's so important. If you just nod and say, yes, yes, but you don't know what's happening, the conversation will eventually crash.
Exactly. Instead, use these help phrases. They're very natural. Wait, sorry, what does that word mean? I'm not sure I follow. Could you say that again? Is that a slang word? I haven't heard it before.
You know, Emily, asking for the meaning of a word is actually a great way to bond. It shows you're interested in how they speak. Most people love being a teacher for a moment.
I have a funny story about this. My friend Maria was at a dinner party with new English-speaking friends. She wanted to say she was embarrassed because she spilled some water.
Oh, let me guess. Did she use a word from her own language?
Yes, in her language, the word for embarrassed sounds like pregnant. So she stood up and said, "Oh no, I'm so pregnant."
Oh no, that is a very different situation.
Everyone stopped eating. There was silence for 3 seconds, and then everyone started laughing so hard. Maria laughed too. She said, "Wait, no, I mean I'm shy. I'm red."
Did she lose her friends?
No, that mistake became their favorite story. Every time they meet now, they joke about it. It made them closer. Laughter is the shortest distance between two people.
That's a great point. But Emily, eventually we want to talk about more than just soccer or the weather. How do we talk about our feelings in simple English?
Great question. You don't need big words to have a deep conversation. You can use I feel sentences. I feel happy when we hang out. I'm a bit worried about my job lately. I am really glad I met you.
Those are simple, but they are very powerful. It shows you trust the other person.
And remember to validate. That's a big word, but it just means showing you understand their feelings. You can say, I understand. That sounds difficult. I'm happy for you.
Just those small phrases make someone feel like you are a real friend. You're listening with your heart, not just your ears.
Let's look at some verbs we use when we talk about friends. 1. To hang out. This just means to spend time together. Do you want to hang out on Friday? 2. To catch up. To talk to a friend you haven't seen in a long time to hear their news. Let's have coffee and catch up. 3. To get along. To have a good relationship. I really get along with my new roommate.
I love hang out. It's so relaxed. It takes the pressure off. It's not a meeting, it's just hanging out.
Okay, this is the final part of our Making Friends marathon. Alex, we've talked about meeting people in person, but let's be real. A lot of us meet people on the internet now.
Oh, definitely. Between Discord, language exchange apps, and even Instagram, we are talking to people in English every single day on our phones.
It's amazing, isn't it? You can be in your pajamas in your living room and be talking to someone in Seoul, Tokyo, or New York.
It's the best way to practice without the scary feeling of standing in front of someone. But Emily, do you have tips for making friends online?
Yes. First, find a community. Don't just message random people. Join a group that likes what you like. If you love video games, join a gaming server. If you love cooking, join a recipe group.
That makes sense. You already have something to talk about. And here's a texting tip. Use emojis.
Oh, I love emojis. Why do they help?
Because when we type in English, we can't hear the person's voice. A simple hello can sound cold, but a hello smiley face sounds warm and friendly. It helps people understand your tone.
I want to tell you about a learner named Omar. Omar was very good at writing English, but he was terrified of speaking. He joined a language exchange app and met a friend named Clara.
Did they just type to each other?
For a month, yes, but then Clara suggested sending voice notes. You know, those little recordings on WhatsApp or Telegram?
Oh, those are great for learners. You can record it, listen to it, delete it, and try again.
Exactly. That's what Omar did. He practiced his sentence 5 times before he sent the recording. Clara was so patient. She would send a recording back saying, "Great job, Omar. I understood everything."
That is a small step that led to a big success.
It really was. Now they have a video call every Sunday. Omar went from scared to type to happy to video chat, all because he started with a tiny 10-second voice note.
Emily, there is one part of traveling and making friends that is a little sad. Eventually, someone has to go home.
The goodbye. It's the hardest part of being a global traveler.
It is, but English helps here too. We have special ways to say goodbye that keep the door open for the future.
Right, we don't just say goodbye, we say, let's stay in touch. This means let's keep talking on the phone or internet. You have a place to stay if you ever visit my country. It was so great meeting you.
I love let's stay in touch. It's a promise, and because of the internet, goodbye isn't really the end anymore.
Exactly. My best friend lives in Japan, and I haven't seen her in 3 years, but we talk in English every week. English kept our friendship alive across the ocean.
We have talked for a long time today, and if you're still listening, we are so proud of you.
Really, think about what you're doing. You're learning a language so you can understand the heart of another human being. That is the most beautiful thing you can do.
Don't let a wrong verb or a mispronounced word stop you. The person on the other side is just looking for a connection. They're looking for you.
So, go out there, be brave, be kind, and use your English to make the world a little bit friendlier.
Let's do one last summary. Online friends, join a community with shared interests, and use emojis to show your feelings. Voice notes, use them to practice speaking without the pressure of a live call. Stay in touch. Use English to keep your friendships going even when you're far apart. Connection over perfection. Your goal is to make a friend, not to pass a grammar test.
Well, Alex, I think we did it. 120 minutes of friendship talk.
I need a glass of water, but my heart is very full.
Listeners, thank you for being our friends today. We truly feel like we are talking to you in your car, in your kitchen, or on your walk.
If you haven't yet, please follow and subscribe. Share this with your English class or your study group.
We'll see you in the next episode. Keep practicing, keep connecting, and keep being awesome.
Bye-bye for now.
See you soon.